It's a cruel It's a cruel, cruel summer. Leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel, cruel summer. Now you're gone. You're not the only one. It's a cruel, cruel summer. Leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel, cruel summer.
So at this point, I got no idea where it's at in the countdown. I'm hoping that we're on the some bitch on here somewhere because I can't. There we are. Okay. Thanks to technical difficulties. So I figured it out. I figured it out now. For whatever reason, this computer, if you play video on this, it's just not going to do it. It's not going to let me do it.
The kiss of death.
Yeah. So I don't fucking know why. I don't know like what the deal is, but yeah, it's not going to. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, what can I say? It's still a cool intro. You got Aliens, The Blob, Maximum Overdrive, film where little kids get run over by little steamrollers and killed by vending machines. Is my kind of summer.
Yeah.
So I drink to that with the mellow yellow.
I'm glad somebody can see it because I couldn't fucking see it. Like it literally went from like a minute 49 to like 10 seconds. And then I could see like 10 seconds in, like, oh, we're getting ready to come on. So please, if you haven't already donated, donate to the GoFundMe for a new computer. So this shit can end. I think we're doing really well on that right now. Like, I don't think it's much longer until I'm just going to take the shit and run with it and go buy something.
Nice.
And Mark's going to lend me a couple thousand, and then we're going.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, get rolling.
Yeah.
Well, what's everybody into tonight? Like, this is just like a hangout kind of thing tonight, like an AMA hangout, late night show. Ask us anything. We're going to be talking about like some really shitty trailers that have just come out, some really shitty releases that have just come out, probably some halfway decent releases like that have come out. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at that, baby. It's steel book like a mother. There you go.
Still one of the best films.
You got to put part 2 back in there.
No. It stays in the trash where it belongs.
Did you really throw it away?
I don't know where I put it, but it's where it belongs.
You got to keep that so we can do that commentary.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I away with bated breath.
So what do you guys? What have you guys been into though, man? Like, what's been going on?
Not a whole
For
lot.
me, just been doing the paid requests, requests for video games. Been playing those, watching movies, things of that nature, and one decent thing I look forward to Shout Factory is I like the show Elf, the sitcom. They're coming out with a new set, which is the uncut episodes. So that's pretty cool. Although I still will make fun of them because while the regular set is fine, I would get that. But those bundles, man, they're still ripping people out with those bundles. Like
Everybody loves
for
the
those who don't
bundles.
know, Alf was a sitcom from the '80s that I do enjoy, and it's a complete series, uncut, not the syndicated versions. $85 is manageable because it's the 4 seasons and the 2 cartoons and the TV movie. But those deluxe editions, I am paying $235. So you get a lunchbox and a Melmac
You'll
rock,
get
which
the
is a
fucking
fake rock.
lunchbox, man. You'll get it and love it. Take it to school.
Yeah, I'll get like the fake rod that looks like someone dug it up in a quarry. They just put it in a little glass case. Sell for fucking bullshit. Stick up their ass with a sun, with a bit of twist to be a piece of coal, another twist to be a piece of diamond. Nah, they keep that. I'll just take the DVD.
It
I'll
is
just
getting
take the
funny,
regular
like
set.
some of the stuff they're putting in these limited edition sets nowadays, like to
Mhm.
try to sell them. Which we'll be talking about that here in a second. Like there's some limited edition bullshit that came out here recently that I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, all right. But we've already got questions and we've already got a bunch of people in here. Let's see who we got. We've got in the chat currently Ken Carlson, Chris C, 4K Tent Revival, Mike B, Witch Hunter. Good to have you all in here. Sean 420. And I'm sure that's a date and not anything else. Raised on Fiction. Adrian James, Jonathan Sonko, Carlos Medodele, Masters of the 80s. It's an interesting name. I like that one. Old Curly Jaws is in here. Holy shit, it's a magical evening. Old Curly Jaws attends. Scott Steiner's in here. That's okay. Foz is in here. And he is asking, like, if we have heard the new Falls Rotten song. Has anybody heard the new Falls Rotten song? It's supposed to be better than Sticky Fingers.
No.
It's called From the Top.
Nice. I want to check it out.
Jason
Top of the
Send
what?
us
Top of
a
the
link
ball?
to it. I want to check it out.
And Tony Moran's Rad 9 podcast is in here.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. So, okay, let's just go ahead. We'll get to some of these questions because there's quite a few of them. What is, I think we've talked about this before, but it's worth talking about again. Like, what are y'all's thoughts on the black phone?
I personally liked it. I liked Ethan Hawke's performance. I thought that if you see the trailer, you kind of knew where it was going. So it was predictable, and the ending was a little bit Home Alone-ish.
It
This
was,
could have been a little
yeah.
bit more, but overall, I thought it was pretty good. Better than a lot of other movies lately, so pretty good.
Yeah, same here. I'm glad that's what Scott Derrickson's doing. Not being stuck in the Marvel machine. So we don't need a sequel. I know they're talking about that. I really hope that doesn't happen. I think
The
we
Black
said
Phone 2, When a Stranger Calls, or some
No,
bullshit.
it'll be called Another Black Phone. That's what it'll be.
Oh,
called.
God. Black Phone 2,
Black
Blacker.
Phone 2, the cell phone years.
Yeah.
Without 1-800, I don't give a shit. That's the tagline. That should be.
So Hoax wants to
1-800
know.
if you give a shit.
Hoax wants to know if episode 1 is still cut in that box set.
What I read up on Elf, the only episode cut is when the show aired. There was an episode where Elf gets amnesia, and that's it. When it originally aired, it was because he put like a hair dryer and a bathtub, and immediately got pulled because they're afraid of kids being stupid.
Yeah, they definitely would too.
That is only available like on really, really rough quality, and there's no way to put it back in. So that's, from what I understand. Now they could lie their ass off. That's why I'll wait for a review. But for what I understand, that is the only episode cut. But the others are supposed to be uncut because, long story short, back in the day when that show aired, episodes were usually about 25 minutes long, give or take. But then in syndication, number one, they wanted more advertising space. And number two, a way to do that is to take out songs or stuff of that nature. Like, for
Yeah.
example, sometimes there were 5 minutes taken out of those. Like, there's an episode where they ride the trains, and the entire 5 minute ending is completely taken out. If you did like the Lionsgate DVD, they show it was. That's why if you're a fan and if they are actually on the up and up, that's why it's pretty worthwhile. The only time they were available was in Germany, because Germany loves Elf for some reason. But I mean, I liked it too, but Germany's like in love with Elf, so it was only on there. So supposedly the rest would be uncut.
Cool.
So let's see here.
And one quick, like, the reason it's on DVD is because the show, I believe, was shot on tape. And if it's shot on tape and not film, you can't really
Yeah.
make that better. So that's why
Same
it's on
kinda-
DVD set.
I think it's the same kind of issue with Tales from the Dark Side. Why they can't make that
Mm.
look halfway decent either.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see the Walmart exclusive steelbook of the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey? I thought that was Scream Factory that did that. Is there a fucking Walmart version too?
I had no idea. I mean, I could believe
There
it if
probably
it is.
is. Yeah.
I saw
I've
they
never
have
even
a
seen
bunch
the
of
movie, so.
they have a bunch of exclusives coming out. So
Yeah,
that
that's
might
one
be
thing
one
I
of them.
did want to talk about anyway. Like, there's a whole, I don't know what the hell's gotten into Walmart here, but like they released, I think it was 5 or 6 different like steelbook release, series almost. So one of them was the Firefly trilogy, which is, the House of Thousand Corpses,
Mhm.
Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell. And then they had like a ton of other releases too. Mark, you probably know some of them off the top of your head.
One of them was the Rob Zombie Halloween 1 and 2, I believe.
That's right. Yeah.
Trying
Which
to
is
think
my
of the
favorite.
others.
Don't fear. I can look it up on here. But when I saw them, I was like, what the fuck? I just wasn't expecting.
I think one was Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
1 and 2. The Leprechaun movies, the Saw movies. There might be
Oh, that's
one
right.
more, but I think that's it.
So, I mean, that's not, they've released those kind of sets like 8 million times at this point. Like
Mhm.
the Leprechaun movies, the Saw movies, like there's probably multiple different box sets that have all those movies in them. So I don't know if anybody gives a shit about that or not at this point, but I've never seen the Firefly trilogy before yet. In anywhere it was just those 3 movies like packaged together, except for maybe like Target had a thing at one brief period of time.
Mhm. Yeah, I think they had House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects in a set.
Oh, okay.
I think it was just the first two.
The 410 revival says it's Blair Witch and Blair Witch 2016, not
Oh, is
the
it
second.
not the
film.
second one?
Can you imagine watching like having those 2 movies together? Like, why would you want that? Do you ever want to see that again?
Blair Witch 2016 is a bad movie. That is just abysmal. That is just puke-inducing. Make you skin crawl. Makes my skin crawl. Fuck that movie.
Makes my skin crawl just fucking thinking about watching it. I don't think I've ever sat through it.
If you love a lot of cheap jump scares and everything that made the first one well, this one is like, let's do the same movie, but do it all wrong.
That's their motto in that movie. We're gonna make the first movie, but do it all wrong. Fuck everything up. So where's it? Lucio Inferno wants to know where's everyone seeing the Exorcist trailer besides Twitter because he refuses to use that damn platform.
It was on YouTube. Like they keep taking it
Briefly,
down. Yeah, if you find it, like even if like you favorite it or anything like that, they're gonna take it down until there's like an official release for it.
Yeah, we've all watched it. It's something that we're going to talk about on here. I don't know if you've seen it, though, Matt. Have you seen it?
I think I saw it. But
See,
like I said, I thought it looked like a generic movie. I thought it's like Pope Exorcist Part 2. It just looked like generic. So I didn't know if it was the real one. But how could I tell? Because all the Exorcist films look the same now. A girl like and going on the wall, spider walk in the corner like a little animal, and old guy going, praying cross.
Dominus Filinte Mato.
What
Yeah, there's always some.
what
It's-
difference is it going to be?
It's like they wrote the script with the checklist of every cliche from every exorcism movie ever. And they're
By the
like,
way, they jammed all those cliches into that trailer too.
well, I mean, though, to them, that's probably the best parts. So
Yeah.
that's how they sell it.
I don't know. So we can go ahead and talk about it though real quick because I think that I've seen the trailer. Even though, like I was telling you guys, like when I saw it, I was like, "There's no way this is an actual like trailer for this film because it looks like something that like a fan made kind of thing would be." But from what I'm hearing, that is the actual trailer, or at least the actual like scene from the movie. So, or series of scenes. So it's the one where like you hear like the priest chanting underneath the whole thing, and then he pulls up. The car stops in front of a house, and he gets out. He walks up to the house. You see a bunch of cut scenes and shit like that. And then he walks in. He opens the door, and like she's on the fucking ceiling, and she like floats down and screams at him, and yada yada yada. Then she does the spider walk, and basically turns into looks like the original Reagan. And that's the trailer that I saw. And it looked like it could have been like the Pope's exorcist. That's kind of what I envisioned.
So
That
is
movie
it
would be
supposed to be Reagan?
I don't know.
It may
Otherwise,
be the
why would it
same
look like
demon.
Reagan?
I think it may be the same demon.
But
That's
so it's
the
the
only
same
thing I
looking
could
girl
gather.
too.
Yeah, they got a girl that they just,
Yeah.
it's just
Girl
like
looks the same.
it's got a Tinder profile, Matt, where it just goes up after certain women.
Be swiping
This is-
left all the time.
Zuzu's got a type.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Zuzu has a rant on Twitter. It's going to be something political. Zuzu versus politics. There you go.
I can't tell you though that like the fact that I thought it was a fan made trailer says everything that you need to know about like what it looks like.
But like I
Yeah.
said, what more can you do with that product today when there's been no joke over 100 exorcism movies? What more can you do that is unique, or what exactly other than nostalgia or a wannabe remake?
I don't think there's anything you can do, which is
I
why
don't think you should have done anything.
there's so much bad reception from the trailer. Like it's not original. First of all, there's only one Freakin', like, and David Gordon Green isn't even close. But man, like it'll never touch the original. I mean, people like the third movie. I think that one's fine, but any of the other ones, the second movie's just non-existent. The prequels or whatever, they might as well not exist. All the times that they've tried, they've never succeeded. I don't know why they thought that like this time it's going to work. To me, it's going to be a failure. I mean, it'll come out. Maybe it'll do business off the name because it has Linda Blair potentially in it, Ellen Burstyn. But even with that, like, how do you get a trilogy out of that? Like, I think it's just a big waste of money. Blumhouse isn't going to, it's not going to have something like the fan base. Like people are going to go see Michael do whatever just because they like seeing Michael kill people. Like it's such a big gamble to me, and it's never going to be worth it with something like that. Like those Halloween movies made money, but regardless of reception, you at least have the money to fall back on. Like you have your box office return. But with Exorcist, like I don't think they're going to get to the second film. I really don't.
Well, they did because The Conjuring and Insidious made monies, as well as A24 films, with some of them Possession made money. So the studio, what do we have? We have that type of concept, and we have a brand name. So I think they're hoping to tap that audience, the audience that went to see The Conjuring, the audience that went to see the Insidious films. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying that's their reason for it, good or bad. they follow a
Yeah.
trend like every other
I
studio.
could definitely see something like that being their reason for doing it. But I mean, that's still a big fucking gamble, man. I don't think he knows the horror audience as well as he thinks he does. And I'm talking about
Clearly
Jason Blum.
not, because he made fucking, you know. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
it just, The Exorcist is not a franchise. It's like Jaws. Like, they made sequels to Jaws, but that's not really a franchise kind of thing. Like, Jaws was amazing, and the sequels were all like kind of shitty. And so was, you know, with The Exorcist. I mean, the third one's, like you said, it's fine and everything. It's a good film, but you got to think they made 3 more movies besides that all sucked ass. And like, you know, that's not a franchise. Now, Halloween, that's a movie you can make those kind of things work off of. Friday the 13th, you can make that work off of. Even to some degree, another Nightmare on Elm Street, if they ever fucking make another one, you could probably make that work off of. But I don't think The Exorcist is the film. It's just, it's not that type of movie. It's not
it's
like
a
a
lightning in a
feel-good
bottle film.
slasher kind of, you know.
People had never seen that before. Like, that came out at the right time. Friedkin had the right no holds barred approach. You had a great story that works, but trying to redo that over and over it's been done. Like, it's overkill. I don't think people
But
care.
again, they're hoping to get that new audience, the ones that, you know, Insidious came out and you got what, 4 movies, including the spinoff. Conjuring got 3 movies and all spinoffs. That's what they're hoping for. Somehow this is a hit and it gets a trilogy, and then it'll get maybe spinoffs or another TV show or something else to ride and milk you dry, like all these properties. That's all they're good for nowadays for studios, is to milk them dry. That's
Mhm.
it. In this desperate
Yeah.
times to them, they want to find anything to make money off of. Nostalgia, whatever the case may be. I just hope AI takes over and we're in Terminator land, so all this fucking shit can leave and get out of my
That'd be
face.
so killer. Yeah. Listen, you don't want to talk about
Skynet,
that
please come
fucking.
by.
Don't talk about that actor or writer strike in these streams. I've done that 2 or 3 times, and people will lose their fucking minds. You would think that they're working in Hollywood with these motherfuckers, like by the way they go on.
Yeah.
But
Saw that. Yeah.
don't bring it up.
Well, you were in
because
my
they're-
stream. I saw that.
Yeah,
Jesus.
there's like people, and they're like, "God damn it, I work for this shit. You're stupid." It's like, listen, all I'm saying, I'm not even gonna say it again because I don't want to start something shit on here. But yeah, I should have just kept my mouth shut about that one, because people are overly sensitive about that shit. Everybody's overly sensitive about anything. Anyway,
But I'll say it. I don't give a shit about the strike. There's a strike every 5 minutes and every 5 days and every 5 years. Someone said I think you said the best. Imagine going to your job and saying, "I strike today." You know what they say? You're fired. Get the fuck out and go home. Do not
Just
pass
try
go.
that.
Do not collect $200. That's what
Walk
they
in there
fucking
and
do.
say you're on strike. Everybody's dealing with that same shit. People, like inflation, the cost of living. Like, it's
Mhm.
nobody's being paid a fair amount. Like, chill the fuck out on these fucking actors. They'll be fine. Anyway, it's funny that Scott S brings this up, because we were just talking about this before the stream. Has anyone seen The Blackening?
This guy has.
I have.
I thought
only
it was
one.
a black version of The Happening, but apparently that was not the case.
It should have been. It should have been like Shyamalan's sequel.
Oh,
I can't recommend it, honestly. Like, I think a lot of the jokes throughout the movie are like what they relied on to make the movie entertaining. And it has like the whole slasher element. 2 people go to a cabin, they're picked off, then your 7 other like friends come to the cabin, and there's a killer there that's stalking them. It's the same thing you've seen a million times over. The biggest issue is that like Tim Story's not a horror filmmaker. I don't think he's a fan of the genre. It's like he only shot what was on the page kind of thing. Like, there's nothing, he doesn't take any chances with it. And the chances that they do take are all the stuff with the jokes and trying to push that stuff to the limit. If he had done that with like the stalk and slash element, at least trying to set up some cool gory set pieces, maybe some interesting like character moments throughout instead of everything being a joke like every minute. I think it would have worked a lot better.
Is there a film you could think of that you would compare that you wish it was like? Like when you say those elements you mentioned, like I'm not saying it has to be a copy, but if it was more in the vein of this movie, is what you would prefer? Like if you could think of one.
I mean, the whole cabin in the woods thing, slasher thing,
Mm.
kind of reminds me of something like Friday the 13th or The Burning. I wish it was more in that vein where you have a killer that actually looks cool. The killer in this is wearing a blackface mask.
Oh,
Like,
Jesus Christ.
so it's that on the nose. Like it's it's very on the nose. Like it's
They should have got Seattle Howell to play him. That'd be
that would
great.
have been awesome.
Yeah.
That would have been funny.
Repeat
I'm the
that.
dude playing the dude. Think of another dude.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't work as well as it should have. I think they had some potential with it, and there's some good jokes in it, but I don't know how well that's going to translate to other audiences that aren't black. Like if you're not that race, some of those jokes really won't.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you
Sorry,
right now, Mark, right now, as a man from like a white male from the South, if I went into a fucking theater, it's all like a movie with somebody in blackface, I would feel extremely uncomfortable. Like I would just be like, all right, this probably is not made for me. So I'd probably need to get the fuck up on out of here.
Yeah. There's also like a board game in the movie that they play, and it's got like a big blackface character right in the middle. So
he was really going for just like, this is not even satire as much as it is just like right direct on the nose kind of.
It's very, very on the nose. There's a lot of horror movie references. So they kind of use some of that, the characters. I mean, they kind of use some of their knowledge of the genre and street smarts to sort of like defeat the killer and get out of all these different games and traps and things that are set up in the cabin. But it could have went further, and it could have been a lot more creative than what it was.
That is a shame, though. I mean, a lot of times you got an opportunity to do something different, and you either like overshoot it way too fucking far, or like don't do anything at all. Yeah,
they really did. I mean, it is a satire, but man, like I think we could get that from like the first 5 minutes. They really just drive it home the whole time.
Somebody said this the other day. Scott S is talking about elevated horror. I just want to ask you guys, because that brings up an interesting question, because I saw a quote where Joe Bob Briggs said that, I think it's something like elevated horror is just horror film. It's just a way that people that don't like horror films talk about horror films. So in other words, like when people say elevated horror, it's usually coming from people who don't want to just say it's a horror film. It has to be something more than a horror film for them to like it, if that makes any sense. And I was curious, like, what do you guys think about just the idea of elevated horror as its own genre?
I'll let you go, Matt.
Didn't they mention? No, I mean, like, wasn't it one of the Scream films? It's like Scream 5. They literally had that conversation. Like, I like elevated horror. I don't like that dumb shit. Pretentious dumb shit. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. It's like we gotta have something to make us feel smarter, supposedly. It's not those dumb horror films you like, loser, you idiot, fucking moron.
Is that
we
real,
like
Stevie?
elevated horror,
you idiot.
fucking morons. We're better than you. That's why I feel like the way it has been used is to make them feel superior. Like we are more in touch with horror. We're above your pay grade. We know more shit about you. You're a Neanderthal when it comes to taste in horror. Whatever put down that comes in around the pipeline. Because the old shit sucks and the new shit is the best ever. I kiss my ass. But that's what it sounds like. At least to me.
Mm-hmm. I always thought it was supposed to be horror that was thinking outside the box and not doing everything that's already been done, basically. I thought that initially was what it was supposed to mean. I mean, am I wrong?
That's why I mean, I don't know if there's a right or wrong to this. Like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, first of all, where did that term come from exactly? Like, what was the purpose of it? And, like, how do people use it nowadays to describe films? Because it does seem like when people say elevated horror, it does seem like they mean like horror films that aren't necessarily like slasher films or, just like shit that I like. But I mean, I like other stuff too, but it's like, it seems to pigeonhole it into, it has to be like a certain intelligent type of horror film. And I don't know who really goes around and says that. Like, have you ever heard anybody come up to you and be like, I really like elevated horror films?
No.
Because I've
Or
never had
they're
that
a
happen.
pretentious asshole.
That'd be awesome if it
They're
did.
they're a pretentious asshole, yeah. That's the only time I've heard it.
Yeah, it's more than likely just a term that was come up by people that are not genre fans. But they see genre movies and they're like, "Oh, this is really amazing." So it's elevated.
Elevated
It's really
all the
smart.
hell. Yeah. Yeah, there's
You know,
some
I love
hilarious-
elevator horror. I love that movie, The Shaft, about the killer elevator. Got Aerosmith at the end. Naomi Watts.
elevator horror,
shooting
yeah.
bazooka, shoot elevator with bazookas. I love elevator horror. It's called The Shaft. I love it.
Is this? I hope to God this is the real hydroponic, because if so, I haven't heard from this motherfucker in forever. How's your balls? That sounds like something the real hydroponic would say. So how are you, sir?
I wonder, is that really him?
I think it is. If it's not, it's somebody doing a great impression of him.
That'd be a deep cut because that's a long time. So, and to answer, my balls are doing okay. I'm in AC land now, so it's doing fine. Hydroponic.
Jesus Christ. See, the problem with us when we do these shows, there's so many questions on here that, like, this is not really a problem. It's a good thing, but I'm just saying, like, it's a problem in terms of me keeping up with like all the shit. I'm trying to star all these questions, but I'm like about a year behind at this point. So okay, let's rapid fire a couple of these. What's the last horror film you guys recently saw that you liked?
Sick, written by Kevin Williamson. I think that was this year.
Yeah, that was back in January.
Because I don't know what else came out this year before.
That was the question. What came out this year, but not necessarily what you saw this year?
The most recent horror film you saw that you liked.
Yeah, the most recent horror film that you saw that you liked. Yeah. I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's a tough.
Isn't that sad? It's like July. It's hard to think of one.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was something. I'll come back. We'll come back to that one. This is going to take too long. This is an easy one. What's your favorite horror soundtrack song from Mike B? He wants to know.
I don't know if this counts, but You Shook Me All Night Long from Maximum Overdrive.
I love DT in Maximum Overdrive. The one that actually like kind of like just instrumental. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wish they did more. I wish they had done more movies. Sadly, that was the only one.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough one. There's so many.
There's a million, yeah. But I'm going to say it's going to be something from Return of the Living Dead for me, because that whole fucking soundtrack is insanely good. Probably like, Party Time or, Tonight. Yeah. Or Rocky Erickson's got Burn in there, like any of those.
Yeah, those are all great. The most recent thing I listened to was actually a few days ago was the Shocker soundtrack. Love everything on it. It's amazing. Especially the Shock Dance track with It's like got sound bites of Mitch Pileggi as Horace Pinker in there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, if I can't choose Maximum Overdrive, I always choose Sword in the Stone by Shocker.
Mm-hmm.
You are the sword. I am the stone.
I'll tell you another one you'd never believe that I just saw, though, that is fucking a killer song off this soundtrack. Zombie 4, Living After Death. If you haven't heard it, look it up on YouTube. It's a great track. I'm not kidding. The movie is questionable, but that track is really good.
Okay, I'll check it out again. It's been a long time since I've seen Zombie 4.
And that, as well, it should be. Okay. So, Punisher Batman fan wants to know if we saw Nefarious. He said he thought it was a good possession film. I have not seen that.
I've never heard of it.
I've seen the poster, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. Preminator wants to know. Oh, I already read that one. Sean 420 wants to know, what do you think? I think he's getting at, what do you think about the new Haunted Mansion film that's coming out with Jamie Lee Curtis? I think
I didn't like the
Wilson's in that
old
son of a bitch and
Yeah,
a couple other people.
I didn't like the old one with Eddie Murphy, so I don't care about the new one. This is not my cup of tea. I'm not interested.
Same here.
Yeah,
Wasn't a bit. I
Plus it's
saw the Eddie
Disney.
Murphy one. Didn't really care for it.
I saw like some sort of a brief kind of teaser thing for it where they're all in it, like, you know, in front of the Haunted Mansion or whatever.
Mhm.
And I just wonder, like, who is that movie for? Is it for little kids, or like it's not for adults, clearly,
No.
and it's really not for like teens. It's got to be for little kids because
Maybe.
it makes any sense if it's not. Let's see here. Going by the "How's your balls" question. What are your thoughts on the dentist movies? Bobo Cop 777 wants to know this.
I only remember the first one, and I liked it. I like Corbin Burns's performance. Anything to do with teeth, just I could feel that pain. And yeah, it's a nice, quirky little film. I never saw the second one. I think there was only two. But Corbin
Yeah.
Burnson made the film for
I
me.
think so. Yeah.
Once again, you stole my words, Matt. That's what I was going to say. I think he's the best part of the movie. It's not anything special, but I do have fun with both of them. I got that Vestron release, and it's really good. So, yeah, if you guys don't have any, you like The Dentist, get that one. It's really good.
It's cheap now too, even cheaper than it was like about a month ago. Like you can buy it for literally nothing right now. All those Vestron films, the newer ones, you can get for $10.
Mhm.
Like even the collections, you can get for between $10 to $15 now.
Yeah, that
Is that
second
one
movie
you
is a
talked
lot
about on
more.
the show?
Do what now?
No, I said, did you ever talk about those on the show, The Dentist?
I don't think we ever have. I don't think we've ever mentioned those movies. Come to think of it.
The second
will
one's
your
a lot
thoughts
more.
on
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was
So I
just
just
gonna
asked,
say,
what were your thoughts on it?
we're all good. On the dentist,
Yeah.
I like the first one, like you said. I don't think I've ever seen the second one. It's possible I've never even seen that movie. I don't remember it if I have. But that was a movie that was on cable like fucking 24 hours a day back in the day. The Dentist, like, because I can remember seeing it over and over and over again.
Yeah, me too. That's where I first saw it. 90s
Yeah.
cable. Gotta love it. That second one's ridiculous. I mean, way more ridiculous than the first one. So I believe the first movie is actually based off a true story of a real life dentist.
Oh
who,
God, I remember that
like,
story too. It was fucking
Mhm.
brutal. Yeah.
yeah.
He was basically like, just to make money off insurance, he would pull people's teeth and stuff that didn't need to be pulled and make up like stuff saying that they, you know, needed like root canals and surgery and teeth pulled and stuff like that. And just ended up messing up like a ton of people.
I think the whole like subplot of him like murdering his wife isn't that taken from the real story too? Like the real guy?
Probably.
I think it is. I have to look that up.
He seems
again.
like a wonderful guy. Okay, Antonis Andriadis. Sure, that'll work. wants to know if we're excited for Saw X.
Excited? No.
I think that's the wrong
There's
word.
very few movies I ever get excited for, and any of the Saw sequels would never make that cut for excitement. I'll probably watch it. Like I watch everything pretty much. So, but am I looking
If it
forward to
was-
it? It's just whatever.
There was Saw Triple X with Vin Diesel. Maybe I'd be excited. Just to do it.
That'd be an awesome crossover movie. Saw Triple X.
For a second, I thought you were going to take that like in another direction. You said Triple X.
No,
so-
I'm
go.
not.
We could go in another
Not
direction.
for me. Nah, that ain't for me.
Uh-oh, we got a super chat from Ali Hamad. He says, did the Sixth Sense change modern horror post 2000?
Mm.
Sixth Sense.
I don't think so. I think it could have had a much bigger impact than what it did. I think it did have an impact for people that like horror and weren't expecting it to be what it was. And of course it did pretty good. But it kind of came and went. Like I don't remember too many ripoffs of it or anything that I felt like was inspired by it. So I don't know if I'd say it changed modern horror.
What do you point to when you think about like what movie did change like horror films in the 2000s? Because I can tell you what my thought is about it. I mean, what my pick would
What's
be.
that?
Hostel?
Sadly, I think the one that changed it was fucking Hostel because I was there right in the middle of all that bullshit when it happened. And like after Hostel came out, which was like, when did it come out? 2003 to 5, somewhere in that.
2005.
Yeah. Every movie after that was like, tried to do the same gritty, like dark torture porn kind of style. I think that changed the whole way shit was going when that movie came out.
Yeah.
Will you say that's more because of Saw? Before that,
Could've been.
you would think Hostel probably got made
Yeah.
because of Saw, because of violence.
Good point.
So it might be Saw. I guess to answer
think-
that question.
I think the thing though that was different though was Saw had an actually pretty interesting story, and the
Yeah.
first one anyway. Then
Yeah.
it got crazy,
Mhm.
but Hostel was just like there was no real story. It was just like violence. Every scene was just violence. Some sort of torture.
Yeah, I mean it's a very like one note plot. I mean, torturing backpackers. That's I don't know if that's really a whole movie.
Yeah.
That's why I'll be honest here with Hostel. The only thing I liked was the third act because there was an actual story. Now they could have done a better job building up characters, but there was actual stories, revenge story, and I'm a sucker for revenge
Right.
movies. But the build up is it's just the horny and let's get laid and you die, but not in a cool Friday 13th way. So
Yeah.
and Eli Roth,
Yeah.
hey guys, I'm Eli Roth.
That guy.
I remember that Hostel 2 came out. This is gonna be the craziest ending you ever seen. Hey guy, I'm like, yeah, it's a guy got his dick cut off and fed to a dog. Whoop-de-doo. People saw that every week in a horror film. Whoop-de-doo. It's the most shocking ending ever. Yeah, that movie sucked and no one remembers it.
Yeah, clearly nobody in there that has seen Salo if they thought that that movie was shocking.
It also did give birth to like the home video era of horror being like everything was unrated. You guys remember that? Like everything said unrated on it or uncut,
That's true. Yeah.
gory edition. That wasn't really a big thing like before like the Saw and Hostel like era started. I just remember movies like just coming out and like you got the version you got. But right like when Hostel was coming out, the whole unrated thing, it seemed to like I guess it sold more movies, at least horror wise, and a lot more stuff was probably even rented, like that were lower budget films that probably would have never gotten a chance. But people saw unrated, so they're like, oh, like, and it's got the torture theme to it. Maybe I should check this out. That kind of started a whole trend there too.
Unfortunately, you're exactly right. It did, yeah. And Platinum Dunes was mostly behind the majority of that shit that was like that style of movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go from the bottom up with the questions now, just because I'm so far behind.
Cool.
Let's see. Does anybody remember The Surgeon? The movie, I guess, The Surgeon.
Is
No.
that the one with James Remar?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard of it. Anybody seen Hangman? Chris C, the slasher dude, wants to know.
Hangman Page? No, I don't
That's, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Adam fucking Page. I was
No.
like, yeah, I've seen him. He kind of sucks, but
No. haven't
Future
seen it.
Boy 77. This is one we've never talked about in here. What are your thoughts on 12 Monkeys?
Mm.
It's 11 more than one monkey. Yeah. No, I mean it is like a completely fucking unique film. I will say that. Like in a in a time period where they were making a lot of the films that were the same, that movie is way out there. I kind of like it for that reason.
Yeah, definitely unique. Blew my mind as a kid. Like I couldn't really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Like I'm like, this is a Bruce Willis movie. There's gonna be guns blaze, and I went in expecting something completely different. And by the time I came out, I'm like, what the hell was I watching?
I think Brad Pitt kind of stole that fucking movie too.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't mind it,
Yeah.
but to be honest, the only film I truly liked from the director is probably Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and The Fisher King. Those are probably the only two I truly liked from the guy, but 12 Monkeys was okay.
Oh God, I forgot about this too. Jesus Christ, I can't wait to talk about this. But before that, Scott S says, "Are pizza rolls okay to eat after drinking Miller High Life?" Y'all weigh in on that.
Don't drink Miller High Life. I don't drink beer. I got no problems with it. I'll stick with it.
Yeah, I don't drink at all, so I'm boring. I got water, so
I really don't drink anymore, nor do I really eat pizza rolls, so I can't answer that. I did used to love a good pizza roll and a Heineken every now and then. It's a different story for a different day, though. The one that I want to talk about, though, Big Crack Rock says the Seven Dwarves looks like extras from Jesus Christ Superstar. Have you seen the fucking pictures of that yet?
no.
I can't believe that this is the world that we live in now, but this is the world that we live in now. So if anybody doesn't know the story behind this, the new Seven Dwarfs movie from Disney, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Number one, Snow White is, I believe, like Cambodian or something like she's not some other nationality, some other ethnicity. She's not white. Even though the book that is based on, which is a German book, says explicitly in there that she has snow or skin as white as snow, which is where her fucking names comes from. Just forget about that part for a second. Because also Peter Dinklage weighed in and said that you can't have dwarves in the movie. So now they look like exactly what he just said, like in like the musical Jesus Christ Superstar just like came to life and followed Snow White around. So they're not dwarves, they're just like they look like homeless people or so. I don't even know how to explain it.
Seven hobos.
Seven hobos. That's the world that we are currently in, people. Like, I don't know.
I have no opinion. Sounds ridiculous.
It's woke ass PCBS.
Have you
what
seen
it
the
is.
pictures though, Mark, of what I'm talking
No.
about? Oh
No,
my God.
I remember him
Please.
talking about that though. Like he got like all hot and bothered by it.
Yeah,
But,
please go online and look. That's the next thing you should do after you get up. Is just look up like the photos from that movie because it's
Okay.
ridiculous. Oh, I can't say homeless. What is the PC term for homeless? Is there one? Housing displaced. Like, I don't know what I would say. I don't think it's a direct to Disney Plus film. I think it's going to be an actual fucking theater film. Sadly,
Well, good job. I'm having another bomb. Get enough bombs in this. Maybe get a little reward. Maybe get like 2-piece and a biscuit combo at the local Popeyes or something after enough flops. Sell some of those pieces of the Disney House of Mouse. Have Mickey Mouse go to, I don't know, the Universal or something. Just please keep making bombs, please. I thank you. Thank you for making this movie so bomb. It meant you lose more money. Congrats.
I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, like that this movie is gonna that Snow White movie is gonna bomb. Like it just is. Anybody that looks at it for 5 seconds, if you look at any of this stuff, it's gonna bomb.
Yeah, just people are tired because they can see through it. And then if you have any amount of even thought, they just call you an ist or a phobe or something, and people are tired of being lectured. And it's like someone said it best: they care more about agendas than entertainment, and their entertainment has been severely lacking.
Well, they lost some crazy amount of money, Matt, too, this past year. Wasn't it like it was like something like $500 to $600 million or something on just the movies? Like I saw that figure and I was like, what in the hell, man? But like with that Elemental movie that didn't make anything, that Little Mermaid movie that fucking tanked, this Snow White movie will tank. It's like they're just I get it. You have a vision, like you're going all in with, you know, the current state of what's going on, and you're just going to hammer that home, and you're getting into fights with fucking governors. It's like, I get it. Like, I get what you're doing. But for the love of God, man, make a decent movie. Like, do something. I mean, people are just not buying into this shit.
But to ask you, in the business sense, how do you rationalize to keep spending money making this if so many past efforts have bombed? How do you rationalize that on a business sense? Ego? Something else?
I don't know. I would guess that the idea behind it is like, I don't think they're making these movies to make money. I think they're making them to like show how diverse. And unique they are. I think that's why they're making
expensive statement.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with money for them, because I think that they got so many like irons and so many fires that they can just set that whole movie shit on fire and watch it burn down while they try to like promote everything else around that. Really,
they've got so much money wrapped up in all the Marvel stuff, and their alternative is to make like PC movies with their IPs that are well known, and I guess they're just hoping that people will go and check them out just because they know what it is, and they have a new twist on it.
Their Marvel stuff is bombing too, which I'm glad, but there's a new one called The Marvels that no one cares about and no one knows about, and that's going to bomb. And it's not Marvel, but that Blue Beetle movie, that's going to bomb. They even said this is going to bomb. It's not going to make any money. the blue Iron Man, the blue, no one cares about Blue Beetle. So common sense is out the door for a long time, but it's insanity. That's why go ahead, be on strike. I hope AI takes over. I hope so.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, do you remember? I don't think we've seen a time like this since we've been alive. I think maybe in the 50s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, maybe like studios were using the like movies to push a certain agenda more so than the time period that we were alive, like the 80s, 90s. Things. I don't think we've ever really seen anything like this before, because the 80s and 90s were more about just like huge blockbuster films making a shit ton of money that were kind of carefree, fun, stupid, like Home Alone and fucking shit like that, like Back to the Future, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Jaws. Well, Jaws was the 70s, but you get the idea. Like those big type of movies. I don't remember ever seeing a time period where it was used so much to like push a narrative like this. You know what I mean? Rather than just creating movies.
And lo and behold, they're having the lowest ticket sales. Everyone's losing money. except Tom Cruise. He's whether you hate
That
him or like him,
motherfucker.
his
By the
making
way,
money.
that son of a bitch out of everybody should be bombing. And that if he's like Teflon, man, that dude
He's invincible.
always makes money.
Yeah.
He's the biggest piece of shit ever, and he still makes money, like in every film that he does. Fucking
He's smart.
Scientology, aliens and shit into his head, and
Hey,
damn.
he's a smart businessman. He's like,
Yeah.
they don't want this woke stuff. They don't want to be agendas. I don't want to make a movie to try and entertain people, and he makes crowd pleasers.
Why
Top Gun
him,
Maverick,
though?
Mission
Why did it have to
Impossible,
be
yeah.
him? Like, could have been anybody else. Could have been Van Damme, man. He could be out there carrying the torch, but no, it's got to be Tom fucking Cruise.
Well, doesn't he like?
I wish. I
Doesn't
wish.
Cruise own DreamWorks, or like he's like part CEO of it or some shit like
He
that? I know he's got a
probably
big
is.
stake in it or something.
I mean, that dude, he's probably more powerful than most countries, really. Let's see. Chris C says, by the way, Hangman is a found footage film, so I have not seen that or heard about that at all.
No.
Trying to get through some stuff here.
That's a funny thing about Tom Cruise. Just earlier today, I found like a random Joe Rogan interview from like a girl that was in Scientology. And I don't know if it's true, but it's what she said. She said a reason Tom Cruise doesn't leave is that when you get that much power, you literally get servants that just, you tell them what to do, they will do it without any question. Give me a cup of coffee at 5 a.m. They can't sigh. They can't go, no, I don't know. You have to do it or you're out. So it sounds like fucking slavery, but servants, it's a nice way to put it. So,
It's true. So most of these comments are just like the industry's a wreck. Disney yada 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 sucks, which yeah.
Good point.
So West Ray says, did you see those new Bloodsport action figures? I did fucking see those. Yeah, the new Van Damme ones I saw that were announced at Comic-Con. And I immediately wanted to buy them, and I just forgot because there's so much shit coming out. Like, it's another thing we're going to talk about too. All this stuff that's being released. Just crazy amounts of stuff coming out. What are your thoughts? This is from Eric Verheller. What are your thoughts on the Universal monsters?
It depends. I like some of them. I like the original Dracula and Frankenstein. I really like the Invisible Man. I thought the Mummy was really boring. Christopher Black Lagoon I could get into. Some of them I like. I like some of those actors, Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff. It just depends. I didn't grow up with them. Probably the one I grew up with the most was Abbott Costello Meet Frankenstein. But
Same here.
Yeah.
I like some of them. I mean, it's not my favorites, but
Yeah. Frankenstein's probably my favorite one. It's probably got the best atmosphere out of all of them. Yeah. Lon Chaney. I mean, all those guys. I mean, I like pretty much all those movies. I don't watch them all the time or anything, but yeah, they're really solid.
I think that might just be like a generational kind of disconnect with those movies where you're not raised watching them and they're from a different time. Like, I can appreciate them, but I don't like want to go back and watch them like over and over and over again, like I do like some of the 80s movies, just because that was what was around at the time when I was watching film. I mean, so I think that's part of it. I like them. I like Frankenstein. I like Dracula. I like, especially like Creature from the Black Lagoon. I think that's probably the best one for me. But it's just like I said, just not something I go back to. I'm going to watch a film usually. Antonius Andriadis wants to know, what films are you guys looking forward of in the second half of 2023, if any?
I mean, I saw the one I was looking forward to the most this year, which was Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah,
which was great.
Mm.
I highly recommend that to everybody in the chat. Like, go see it. Like, you won't be disappointed at all. I love that there's no CG. They recreate the nuclear explosion with all practical. Very, very ambitious. Solid performances from top to bottom. Even down to somebody like I think his name is David Krumholtz, the guy
Yeah.
from Harold and Kumar.
yeah.
Best performance I've ever seen him give. And we were talking about this a little bit before we started. I think that like Nolan should be winning for best director because he directed the hell out of everybody. Everybody turns in a great performance. It's so good. Like, it's what I want film to be. Like, not necessarily like that type of story or anything, but just how it's made, the craftsmanship, the elegance that went into it, shooting it on 65 and 70 millimeter, using the black and white negative analog photography, no like color correction after the fact or post-processing effects. Just, it's pure cinema, honestly. It's a great film. I couldn't put it over enough.
It's making me moist just thinking about it, Mark, with that description. Damn.
So you didn't see Barbie?
No, I didn't. What is it called? Barbenheimer. I didn't do Barbenheimer.
Is that where you go see Barbie and Oppenheimer the same day?
Yeah,
That'll be an
double
awesome
feature.
fucking thing to do.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'll see it at some point, probably more than likely.
Have Margot Robbie.
Listen,
You're talking
I'm
about her?
honestly gonna try that. I'm gonna go fucking tomorrow and watch the like matinee of Barbie, and then watch Oppenheimer right after it. Let's see what happens.
Oppenheimer is 3 hours, by the way.
Oh Jesus! Well, never mind. I have to
It
clear my
is-
whole day.
It is an epic type of story. I mean, but this is one of the few instances where I think it's justified. It breezes right by. It didn't feel like 3 hours. By the time that first hour was over, I was like, wow, there's so much happening. Like the way it's edited, like the first 5 minutes, it's like so many cuts to so many different things and so many different characters. And then like the next 5 minutes, it's more of the same. It kind of like paces itself out a little bit better. And it's not so frenetic like after that first 10 minutes, but it's still very well edited. And man, it's so good. I love it.
That is a ringing endorsement, though. I'm gonna have to see this movie now, legally, of course, in a theater.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
You guys have IMAX around you?
I don't.
Oh shit. Damn.
The closest
No.
IMAX to me is probably 3 hours away, I would say.
Take the drive. Just
I just clear the
just
day.
do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it'd be 3 hours down there, 3 hours to watch the movie, 3 hours back. That's the whole day. It's just fucking gone. Yeah. You don't do anything else. So I wanted to ask you guys, this is slightly off topic, but like I was just sitting here thinking about it too, because just talking about movies and shit in general. Kino recently just had their big sale. Have either one of you picked up anything from Kino? They're having the summer sale right now.
How long does that go? I didn't know they had a sale.
I'm not entirely sure, man. I think it's at least for the next week.
I'll have to look into it.
The Arrow
Actually-
sale's still going too, I think.
Oh God, is it still going?
I think it's till July 31st. Then it's over.
So, I mean, I wasn't overly like impressed with the Kino selection, but I did pick up 4 or 5 titles, and they had the specialists on there in 4K, which was like, it was only like $10 or something. This is the Italian specialist movie. They had Dress to Kill in 4K for like 17, which I picked up, and a couple others I leave like my mind that probably weren't that great, but I just bought.
Death Wish.
Nope. Already had Death Wish.
Ah,
Speaking of Kino Lorber, one they got re-released for you. They need to re-release this.
Yes.
Philip,
Yes, they do.
this is a Kino Lorber. They need to re-release this, man. Football anachronisms. Football player fighting to save Beverly Hills.
Man, Kino released a lot of stuff early on that I had no idea they even released, like that. And then Wes pulled out Monster Dog with Alice Cooper that they fucking released. Like that's now like out of print.
mhm.
I'm
I had
still
no
waiting for
idea.
the release of List to Kill. We need Richard Grieco's A List to Kill on
I
Blu-ray,
love that.
damn it.
Yeah. I used to watch it all the time. There's another one's on like HBO or Cinemax, one of those like all the time.
Mhm.
You need it. That is Warner Archive crap.
Okay, so back to the questions though. What do we think about Child's Play 3? This is a continuing conversation here.
Go ahead, Mark.
I like it a lot more than 2, which back in the day
Ooh.
that was never a thing for me. I think we recently all got the 4Ks, and I rewatched 2. I don't like it as much as I used to.
Me
Don't get me wrong, the third one is far from perfect, but something about it I just really like. I don't know what it is. And I've said before on one of these streams that like that third act, I wish it was all at the carnival. They end up there for like the last 10 to 15 minutes. It should have been the last 30 minutes. It should have been the final act. That would have been so great.
I liked it. I like both 2 and 3. I like 1, 2, and 3. Really, those are the ones I like. Afterward, not so much. But I like 3. Like you, I like the carnival. I think it was a final ending. I don't think a franchise needed to go on. I like the guy, Justin Whalen, who plays. He's better than the other guy when he got older and came back.
Oh my God, yes.
'Cause he's
Alex
a good
Vincent.
kid actor. Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
as an adult actor, a piece of wood with his face could have been in there instead. Like,
He
I,
was
I
in,
think
wasn't
a piece
he
of
in
wood has more charisma than he does.
Curse of Chucky? Wasn't that the one that he came back in where like
Mhm.
yes,
he
that
had Chucky like
at the end.
what was it, like he had him like tied up or something? He was burning him with like a blowtorch throughout the film.
Yeah, that was
When
a
it-
Cult of Chucky. Because
Yeah,
Cult
that
of
was the
Chucky. Okay,
beginning of
yeah.
Cult, I think.
Curse of
I don't
Chucky
know. I
was
get
at
all
the
those
very
mixed up.
end, and then Cult of Chucky, he gave the headless Chucky some weed
Mm-hmm.
because that needed to happen.
Y'all got to
This
keep
John
in mind.
Mancini.
Keep in mind the only thing Alex Vince has been doing for like the last 10 years is conventions. Like, so the fact that they put it, he probably had no idea how to act. Like, you know, since he was a little kid, he does probably no acting that he really did, and then they just threw him back into a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
It shows.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
fucking shows.
As far as like that goes for me, Child's Play 3, like I'm the same as you though, Mark. I watched Child's Play 2. We did like a commentary on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, this movie is just not as good as I remember it being. Like, it's not like I always remembered it being like really like action packed, like, you know, more fast paced than the first one. It's really not. It's really not that great of a film. But actually, you know, 3 is not as bad as people say it is. Like, you know, I think 2 might be worse than 3 now that I've gone back and watched them. Anyway, Justin Marino wants to know, what are your favorite physical media releases of the year? I got mine right here. There's no doubt in my mind. I've been waiting on this damn thing for like years. So this is my favorite. This is Kino too.
Ooh.
They just released To Live and Die in LA in 4K, and the 4K is not amazing. It doesn't blow my dick off or anything like that, but the Blu-ray I think is insanely good, and the special features are amazing. So just to have this movie on something that's like this kind of quality and has that on it is fine with me.
I guess this one so far, I mean, maybe later on there'll be a different one, but for those who didn't see it, this is a limited edition hard target Steelbook 4K, which I guess is limited to 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a box set which has a bunch of items. It's got a steelbook version of the 4K, and no Hard Target 2 anymore because I took it out. And it's got a poster.
I'll bet Mark's losing his fucking mind about that.
It's got a booklet. It's got lobby cards. So being a big fan of the film, the only issue is number one, there's no special features. That's why it's still worthwhile to have the Kino Lorber one. But I don't know, the picture quality looked a little bit better. Maybe that's just me. And like I said, I like the presentation. And I rarely go in for that. But again, it is one of my personal favorites. So, and it's got a poster. It's got everything else. So it's a great looking steelbook. So
Yeah, agreed.
So it's nice.
That might be mine as well. If not that, I mean, and
So you
I
did
hate,
get it. I should
Yeah.
know.
yeah, but
Should know you got it.
oh, of course.
You know
Where
we
is it?
got it.
With questions like this, I hate to seem like so indecisive, but I have stacks of stuff over here. So
I have
I-
so many.
I'd have to
I
look
don't know
through
what to
everything
choose.
to see like what even actually came out this year.
I have
to properly
$5,000 worth of physical media this year. I can't choose them all. I gotta sit.
Maybe when
He's
we
right
do
now-
the-
He's sitting in a fucking chair of Blu-rays. You can't see it, but like, that's his
That's what's
chair. It's
holding
his
me
actual
up, yeah.
Blu-rays. Yeah. 4Ks.
maybe when we do Hallomania, I could better answer that. That'll be in December,
Actually, behind him right now is all the stuff he bought this year. That's not a green
Yeah,
screen. That's
yeah.
stuff he bought this year.
right?
That's
That's
what it
just this month. That's what it is.
Yeah. So a couple people are asking me on here if I bought the Diodato Barbarians from the Kino sale. No, y'all, I already bought that. I bought that like 2 or 3 sales back. Like, yeah, Barbarians, anything with the Barbarian brothers, like I'm gonna buy. Like I'm gonna buy that damn, I think Double Trouble. They've got that one coming out. I'm gonna buy that. I wish they'd put out Think Big because that's like my favorite, but that one never gets any kind of like a so. Get me started on the Barbarian Brothers. That's a whole avenue. Let's see.
That's a comic I'm surprised you guys haven't done.
What's that on one of those movies?
A Barbarian Brothers movie.
I'd love to do that. I'm not
Commentary.
even.
I'm surprised you guys haven't done that.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
I'm not sure Wes has even seen those movies.
Oh,
Preminator wants to know if we picked up any Blu-rays when Prime Day passed recently.
I'm not gonna get it because it's all the way over there. I got the Indiana Jones 4K set for $40. It was all 4 movies for $40. I couldn't pass that up, so that's the only thing I bought.
well, it wasn't because of Prime Day, but I got this for free. Just someone left it, so I took it.
What? What do you mean someone left it?
They left their place, and someone I know cleans places, and they left their movies, and they said, "You want any of these?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take this one." So I got it for free, and this is like out of print. So, and I like the movie quite a bit, so
Yeah,
I got that for free. I'll take it. It was free.
All of
Hell
the
yeah.
stone is weeping right now. And someone left his
Well,
movie behind.
it's a conspiracy. That's all it is. And to the left, just to the left, up and to the left. But this isn't the title, but it's called Blue Monkey. It's one of the Kino Lorber when they took the Code Red stuff,
Yeah,
and it's called Blue Monkey. But I like this cover better. So with Steve Rail's back, Steve Rail's back himself. So good actor.
I love Steve Railsback. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for creature features.
So somebody in here wants to know too, Mark. Did you watch Oppenheimer in 70 millimeter?
In IMAX, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there a difference, really?
What do you mean?
watch the 70 millimeter? Like, is there like it was a bit like worth it to see on that way?
Definitely.
Mm.
You can definitely tell the quality difference with the 70 millimeter. I think the other one that I saw was, what's the Jordan Peele movie? Nope.
Mm-hmm.
That one was shot in IMAX as well. Looked amazing.
Yep.
And with that, like, you can tell when it jumps back from 70 to 35. It's so blatantly obvious. And I'd much rather be watching every film in 70 millimeter, if I'm going to be really honest. But I know that's expensive to shoot in. It's a lot more of a arduous process. You're shooting with something that's like using like chemical properties to put the actual movie to the film print, like, and it's a higher resolution, and so it's not as easy as shooting in 35. It's, it's a luxury thing, I think.
I think the first movie I remember that they did like in 70 millimeter was Hateful Eight. I mean, I know it's not the first movie that was done in it. That's just the first one that I can remember that was like well-known kind of mainstream thing that they did for the theater. TJ wants to know, is there any favorites you bought on physical media and haven't opened yet? That's like every fucking one Mark's got over there. It's like, that it's true. Let me look. Yeah.
Nah, not for me.
I mean, not really. Like that, I've watched To Live and Die in LA now like 5 times since I bought it. So, that was the one I was really waiting on. So,
hold on, let me see if I can reach this. I'll be right back.
So cabinet, he's got a cabinet.
He's got to rappel into his other room to get past his like Blu-ray. Yeah, there was one that I got actually, that everybody got and that I haven't watched yet, which is the Jaws 2 4K. I still haven't opened that one yet, so I need to like watch that. I don't even think that's that good of a fucking movie, but like it was out, and there was nothing else out that week, I guess.
Needed more dense quay, more cocaine.
That's 3. Jaws 2 is just Roy Scheider on the fucking like doing a direct rip off of Jaws.
There's a lot more, but like I'm being lazy. I don't feel like picking all that shit up and then restacking it.
Oh, come on.
So I just grabbed what was on top and what was easiest and quickest to grab. So the VS stuff, these are Wrestling with Shadows, Glow. Can't even see that. That's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
I don't even want to hold this one up because, like, I just know I'm going to get made fun of.
What is it?
God, what is it?
It's Kids, the Larry Clark movie.
Oh,
Look at that cover too. Like, I don't even know if
Yeah.
we should be showing that on YouTube
Right now, if
Maybe
you
the back's a little bit more
just
PC.
triggered the algorithm.
But yeah, I wish they would release more of his stuff. I'm a big fan. I've said this a million times of Another Day in Paradise with James Woods and Melanie Griffith. It's a fantastic crime movie. Easily his best movie. Underseen and underrated.
because it's the only one without underage sex in it. That's what Larry Clark does.
I like how Matt just breaks shit down. Saying everything that everybody was thinking.
Yeah.
That's what Larry Clark does. It's like every movie is about Teenage Caveman, the bully kids.
Ken Park.
Every movie.
That'll never get a release, I don't think.
Dude's got a weird obsession. I'll just say that. Seems like it.
Have you
Let's
seen any
see.
of his newer movies, by the way?
No, why? Are they worse or something?
Yeah.
I'll
This
pass, man. I'm
there's
going to be arrested.
Marfa Girl 2, The Smell of Us. They're all very
The
bizarre
what
and like
of us?
The Smell of
The
Us.
smell of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
You
sad.
don't
though.
know about the classic The Smell of Us? I
God.
think Vinegar Syndrome released Her Smell, so that should be like a double feature. The Smell of Us and Her Smell.
TJ Frizzy, that's how the Germans do it. That cover that's actually the less revealing cover. There's one that's a lot worse than that.
So switching real quick. Switching dog. Yeah. Jackson Jack wants to know if we've thought about doing another TV series breakdown anytime soon, like the X-Files. For example, Tales from the Crypt or some anthology like that would be cool to see episodic breakdowns of. I've actually got like all of the Tales from the Crypt season, so that is a possibility, like just to go back and watch those, to do that. But that would take for fucking ever. Like that would be like it'd be almost probably longer than the X-Files.
Easily.
One.
Yeah. It's crazy that we actually did all the episodes, well, most of the
I know.
episodes and all the
I
seasons
know.
and stuff. I actually have a show that I want us to do, and it's not that many seasons, and it's on one of Uncle Bill's favorite things, but I'm not going to say what it is, just in case we can't like get it together. I'll tell you guys after we end the stream.
But I can say this though, that Dana is already covering like every fucking horror show imaginable. Dana and TJ are doing 4-hour streams on like 3 or 4 episodes of some shows. So I mean, you can see those. Like there's breakdowns of Friday the 13th, the series, Monsters, the series, Tales from the Dark Side. I mean, anything you can think of. The only thing I think they haven't done yet is Tales from the Crypt, which is crazy. They haven't done that one.
That was a surprise. Like you guys didn't do like Dark Side of the Ring, since you do the Tinseltown, Hollywood, and then you guys wrestling.
That would be cool.
So like Dark Side of the Ring. Yeah.
I've actually watched all those too. I'm like caught up for this season. And yeah, that would be easy to do, really. Are you watching any of those, Mark? Or Matt, or either one of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those are fascinating. Dark Side of the Ring. Like the Doink one. Because I didn't know anything about the guy.
Yeah.
I just knew the character.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a wreck, to say the least.
The last one, like I had no idea that about the whole Hannibal thing. I always know I hate that guy. I just don't like that guy in general. The
Abdullah the Butcher?
No, Abdul the Butcher's fine. I'm talking about the Hannibal guy that actually like sued him for getting hepatitis C.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like I've never liked that.
He's got YouTube, like on
he's
YouTube,
got a channel.
Hannibal.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Hannibal.
Sounds like he just seems like the biggest asshole. I've never liked that guy, even before I knew anything about the lawsuit or anything. He just always seems like the biggest douche, and every like thing that he does is all exploitative of just like wrestlers and things like that. Like he'll get fuckers like that Billy Jack Haynes on there that are clearly like out of their mind to do shoots, and it's just that kind of shit constantly. But anyway, that last episode was fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Abdullah.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Definitely.
Preminator wants to know if we've seen the new Mission Impossible film. Heard it's great. He's going to see it in a few days. I have not seen it. I probably will never see it because it has Tom Cruise in it.
I haven't seen it yet. I do plan on checking it out though. I thought Fallout
He'll be on.
was really good.
He'll be on the picket line with the actors, but it won't be for raises. It'll be
For Tom Cruise.
It's the movie.
That would be a fucking strike that I could be for. I would get rally behind that strike if everybody struck against Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Wait, did you see it, Matt, or no?
No, I haven't
No.
seen it.
Okay.
I'll say on a tangent. I'm getting sick and tired of these movies being like damn 3 hours long. Why does every movie need to be like 2-3 hours long? Like, why did that become like every other movie is 3 hours long? Why? I don't know. It's a pain in my ass. Literally, sit in the theater that long.
It literally is.
Is Mission Impossible 3 hours? I'm just curious. It seems
It's like-
like it would be.
2 hours and 40. To be fair, like 2 hours and 40
Wow.
minutes.
And that's part one.
Yeah, like you can't tell the whole story in 2 hours and 40 minutes. You need
Nope.
2 parts for it. I like a lot of Mission Impossible films, but come on, man. It's like,
Yeah.
does Mission Impossible, is it that deep of a story that you can't tell one story in 2 hours and 40 minutes, let alone you need 2 parts for it? Is it that
Yeah, I
intricate
mean-
of a plot?
If there's anything Tom
Mhm.
Cruise is known for, is his intricate like movies and plots to these films that he's in.
Yeah. I know what you mean with the whole 3 hour thing. I get it, but actually, there's another movie I saw recently that's fairly new. I think it came out last month. Have any of you guys seen God is a Bullet?
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay. It's the new Nick Cassavetes movie. Stars Mika Monroe and the other guy, I'm going to butcher his name, so I'm not even going to attempt to say it. Jamie Foxx is in there as well. I think Ethan Suplee is in it. And I know it's based off a novel, but it's 2.5 hours. And had it been 90 minutes, that movie would have been so good. But like, it just, it's way too long. It didn't need to be that long. I know so it's about like a satanic cult that kidnaps the daughter of someone. He infiltrates the cult, gets all these crazy tattoos and all this stuff. Mika Monroe guides the detective in so he can get his daughter back from the cult that's kidnapped her. That's the story. It's very violent, very bloody. I think genre fans would definitely dig all the violence in it, but didn't need to be 2.5 hours. It's my only issue with it.
What do you think started that, if it's okay to ask? What do you think started that whole...
I have no idea, honestly. It's really bizarre because every movie
Like,
does it now.
No one wants to edit. It's like they fired the editors in Hollywood. Maybe they're on strike. It is a secret strike. They've been on
That's what
strike
it is.
for a while. But I don't know why. I mean, there are movies I like. Shawshank Redemption's long, and I like that movie sincerely. But not every movie needs to be that. It feels like, maybe it's just me. It just feels like every movie, or every other movie, I should say.
What did start that? Like recently, like more recently, that started happening like all the time.
Avengers Endgame, maybe? That was 3 hours.
Maybe, yeah, maybe one of those stupid ass Marvel movies actually started.
And that was
like
one of the biggest hits ever. Maybe.
Anyway, we got a super chat from Bobby, and I'm going to try to do my best here. What if Captain C.K. Deadpit and his brother Uncle Bill did a radio show? C.K.
It's called Deadpit.
C.K. would be hit. I'm Captain C.K. Deadpit, and Bill said I'm his brother Uncle Bill. C.K. said tonight for Cass, zombies are awake.
I don't know what
Bobby,
that means.
I appreciate the super chat. I have no earthly idea how to decipher that, but we do, and did have a radio show. It was called Dead Pit, and yeah, thank you for the super chat. It's very nice, very evil, very good.
Or maybe you meant like what if you did a show and all of a sudden on the show like a zombie apocalypse happened. It was like what was it, like Bill Moseley did a movie like that, Dead Air, and then there's that movie Pontypool.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
imagine you guys did a
Yeah.
radio show and all of a
About like
sudden,
a zombie apocalypse, or that
yeah,
there was a
you're on
zombie
the show
apocalypse
and
in it.
it's fucking, you can't leave. Shit. We gotta be stuck here doing this radio show. We can't leave.
We should have thought of
Pontypool
that
too. That's
like
that's the
years
secret.
ago when we were doing bits.
That would have been hilarious.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this too. Speaking of like series breakdowns and shit like that. So one of the ones that is coming up here soon that TJ's talking about is the breakdown of the Masters of Horror series that we're going to do a stream on. The CK and I, whoever else is going to do, I think Garrett's going to be on it doing a Masters of Horror stream. I haven't seen those episodes since they came out. At least I know majority of them. So I'm really interested to go back because I don't remember. Like I do not remember some of them at all. I don't remember Landis's episode at all. I don't remember Mick Garris's episode at all.
Dear Woman.
I don't remember several of them. Like, I do remember like Carpenter's. I remember Argento's, of course,
Jennifer.
Takashi Miike's. I
And
remember
Brent.
all those. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to going back through that. That's coming up here in a couple of weeks or maybe a week. I don't know. Soon.
I still really appreciate those. I mean, what a novel concept. Like, I wish they had kept going. There should have been a season 3, a 4, a 5. You were bound to get some
Yeah.
good stuff in there. And I think you
I
actually
completely
do
agree,
on the
like-
first 2 seasons. Like, there's some good stuff in there.
They tried to kind of continue it with Fear itself. It just fucking didn't work. Like,
Well,
You can't-
nobody watched it. Yeah.
no, you can't do that kind of thing on network television. It just, you have to
Mhm.
do a series like that has to be on like cable of some kind.
Yeah. It got canceled mid-season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't try to do Fear itself? If that's
I've got it.
the unofficial
I've got
one?
it over here, but I don't think so. Now you talk about something
Good
I don't
call.
remember. Like I know I watched those when they came out, like
Yeah.
on TV. I don't remember a fucking thing about any of them. It's like completely. But Justin
Yeah, you know what
Marino
you watch
says,
it. Go watch
Do
Freaky
what?
Links instead.
Yeah,
Don't watch Fear
Freaky
itself. Go Freaky Links instead. Freaky Links.
Justin Marino says the tour of Italy has been a great series. UB, thank you for that, sir. I appreciate that. Tried to make that like a decent series. I am going to do, he wants to know if I'm doing Lindsay. I am going to do Lindsay when it comes back from its mid-year break for season 2. I bought a couple of, that's another thing I forgot. I bought it on that Kino sale was a couple of Lindsay movies that were on sale for like $7-8. So
Cool.
let's see. I'm not going to do a Steve tour of Asia like series. That would just be disturbing. Preminator says he doesn't mind 3-hour movies as long as it's entertaining, and so does Jackson Jack. Sean, we were just talking about that with Mark, he's the only one of us that's seen Oppenheimer.
Yeah. I'm not going to put it over anymore, but
He puts it over pretty hard.
yeah, just check it out. You'll enjoy it.
Let's see here. Jackson Jack says Ridley Scott is doing a new Napoleon film. I saw that with
Mhm.
Joaquin Phoenix, the preview for that.
Yeah. I'll pass.
I'll probably
It's a
watch
bit
it.
pass.
It'll be another 3-hour epic, Matt. you
It will
gotta watch
definitely be 3. It'll be 3 to 4 hours. I guarantee it.
If I won Napoleon, I'll watch Bill and Ted and have the PD wiki. I'll watch that.
Watch him eat ice cream.
Yeah.
PD wiki. I'll watch that instead. And go down water slides.
Chris says Cool Duder cites Clint Howard and Hulk Hogan as style influences. What?
What?
I'm sure that's true. Justin wants to know if I've ever met Steve or Garrett in real life. I've met Steve a bunch of times in real life. You know, he used to like come to a lot of the same conventions that we did, and I've been over to his house and like, yeah. Garrett, I've never met because Garrett lives in fucking Rhode Island or some shit like that. Like, so I mean, we're not gonna. Our paths are probably not gonna cross unless there's some serious driving involved.
Just have him pick you up in his helicopter.
That motherfucker, you know, he's working on it right now.
Now he's got the launch pad on the roof of his house.
Yeah, I know we talk about Marq, but we should also mention that Garrett is just like filthy rich into this shit. He's just driving like I feel like he's more like Scrooge McDuck in his fucking house, just like jumping into gold doubloons and swimming around like a bathing suit.
Gold-plated 4Ks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that.
Ridley Scott, like, I don't know, man. Like the last several movies that he's done have just kind of fell flat to me. I like
Absolutely.
a lot of his stuff in the past, but I don't know. I don't ever get excited when I hear there's a new Ridley Scott movie coming out.
Yeah, like you say, he hasn't made anything worth a crap in a long time. He did 2 Alien films and they sucked. Prometheus and Covenant. So.
Oh my God. I remember the first time I watched Prometheus, I was just like, what in the fuck am I watching? Like, what is this? Goo people, like giant fucking Watchmen looking dude just walking around. It's like, what in the hell is this?
What about Blade Runner? The last
The new one? The old one?
Yeah. The new one.
I've never seen the new
But he
one.
did-
I refuse to fucking watch
He
that.
didn't direct it, though. I enjoyed it. He didn't direct it,
Right.
Ridley Scott. So
He was producer.
that was
right?
good. Well, producer, he got the check, just like John Carpenter gets the check. But I'm glad he didn't direct it. I actually liked Blade Runner 2049. But like Ridley Scott, the last film I liked of his was The Martian with Matt Damon. And then
Yeah,
before
I'm sure
that,
he
I
did
don't know. I like his brother Tony Scott better in filmography, but
Did you guys watch Raised by Wolves? The HBO show he was involved with.
Mm.
That
I've
was
never
really
heard of it.
That looked amazing. Some amazing visuals, interesting character stuff. I think he directed the pilot episode. That was just a few years ago. I think that was the last thing that I've seen that he did.
I
Oh,
will
snap. I
give.
saw it. There's a trailer for the Richboard remake. You guys can see that in the chat.
Jesus.
Chuck
no.
Russell, what are you doing, man? You needed
I
a
know.
paycheck so bad, I guess.
Charles Russell. How
Witchboard
dare you.
remake.
Didn't Chuck make Nightmare on Elm Street 3?
Yeah.
Yep.
I
And the
mean,
Blob
come
remake.
on, man. And how do you go from that shit to fucking Witchboard remake?
What has he done for 20 years?
That's true. It's like Whitney
Yeah.
Houston, or somebody
He-
said, "What have you done for me lately?"
Yeah, The Mask was a huge hit for him. I liked Eraser with Arnold. I thought that was a
Racer
fun
was a
movie.
good. It got shit on, but it still made like a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good film.
That was
Like-
nine. That was 96.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How could you not like Arnold versus James Caan? Come
Mhm.
on. That's awesome.
That gun he had, that
Yeah.
shoot through fucking walls and stuff. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
The rail gun.
the railgun.
Yeah.
That was it. Let's see. I'll give either one of you $1 million if you can answer this question. What's the new Walking Dead about? Gary Walker wants to know.
Zombies.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
Yep. That's all we know. I'm sure it has zombies in it.
More walkers. That's all I know.
It's about 45 minutes too fucking long.
It's about time to end. That's what it's
Yeah.
about. They ended
Neil
the
Punk,
main show, right?
they did
Sorry, they
finally,
ended the
thank
main
God,
show.
but then they just started like another 2 or 3 fucking spin-off shows. Like one of them's got Norman Reedus in it, and the other one's got like Negan and the
Mhm.
Carol character.
Oh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, God damn it! Like we thought it was over. It's never over. That thing is never going to die.
Apparently. Shit.
Neil Punk wants to know though what our thoughts are on the film Streets of Fire.
It would never get made today.
That's like everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it a lot. I mean, some interesting choices for like casting, considering like who they would become as actors and actresses. It's a fun movie. I don't think it's talked about enough. Although I guess like it is kind of an acquired taste film. I don't know if everybody would like that.
I don't think I've ever seen it. Don't think I have. Now, Streets
need
of
to see it
Rage.
again.
That was a great video game from
There you go.
It's true.
Sega Genesis. Matt, what's your favorite Tony Scott movie? Justin wants to know.
Ooh, I will say,
Last Boy Scout.
yeah, The Last Boy Scout. Oh, Santa Claus is out there. Be afraid.
That's a great
You don't
movie.
lose. Smile, you fuck.
Never. TJ says never do a breakdown of The Walking Dead. That would take like
Oh,
you
no.
imagine
That's that's
the amount of time you'd have to put into that. Here's the thing with The Walking Dead, man. Like the first 3 to 4 seasons of that show were amazing. And then did you notice at some point in the 4th or 5th season, they started doing that shit where they would follow like multiple characters
Mhm.
throughout each episode. And then like you would switch back and forth 5 times in an episode. So one would be over here and then they'd switch to another storyline and then they'd switch back to that storyline, then back to that. And it just got to the point where it was like you couldn't even figure out what the hell was going on half the time.
One of the biggest reasons I think it was probably as good as it was when it started wasn't Darabont there, but he left like after
He was,
the first
I think he was
season
only
or
there for the
second
first season. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like I don't know if he quit or they fired him. I think they fired him is what I heard. Like something about creative differences and things like that.
Mhm.
And he sued him. I don't know if he won or not. I can't remember like what happened with that lawsuit.
Yeah.
But
it seems like they took a lot of his ideas because I'm sure he had like a lot of stuff fleshed out, like how he wanted the next couple seasons to go. And that's probably why it went downhill after the first couple. But I mean, hey, there are Walking Dead fans out there that'll fight me for saying that. So there is good stuff in some of the other seasons, I'll say. So I don't want to get attacked in the chat. But we know where the peak of it is, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it really like I thought the governor was the peak, and then after that, it was kind of like Negan came in. That episode where he was introduced was a classic, and then after that, they fucking just destroyed the show. Like it just steadily just fucking got destroyed after that.
Me, I couldn't get through the first season. I gave up. I'm like, I'm done. You take it. You did. Well, I just watched
Damn,
Dawn of the
man.
Dead.
Yeah.
I got Dawn of the Dead here. I just watched that.
Let me just tell you, if
But
you
what
if you
the-
didn't make it through the first season, like you would fucking hate like the following seasons. Yeah.
Because I'm watching, I'm like, I've seen this so many times before. There's guys, there's zombies, there's assholes. I'll just watch Dawn of the Dead and watch Tom Savini. Hey, you chocolate man! Like whatever they kill Ken Bray is out of the
Man,
blue and just
I see you, chocolate man. Yeah.
I watch that instead.
Okay. Basically, Preminator wants us to rank these movies. I think The Abyss Leviathan and Deep Star 6. Like, how would you rank them in order?
Probably in that order. Abyss is number one for me.
I think it would be the same for me. I don't think it would be the same for Rambo.
Yeah, Leviathan, Abyss, and Deep Star 6, but I like all three. The Abyss needs a Blu-ray, but James Cameron is too much of a Avatar 18 worried about that.
Unfortunately, yeah.
That might be the
I don't
most
care about Avatar.
overrated series of films that's ever came out, by the way. Or Avatar.
Did you see that in the theater, Avatar?
I did. Yeah. The first one. I didn't see the last one.
Time?
No, I don't.
What
I'll
do you
never
think
see
of it at
another
the time?
fucking Avatar movie. Like, even at the time, I was like, this looks amazing. Like, it's insanely, like, the way that it looks is just unlike anything I've ever seen. But I knew that the story kind of sucked. I was just not at all into anything that happened in that fucking movie. And I can remember, I think we reviewed it at some point. What year did that movie come out?
2009.
Yeah. Because I remember watching the Blu-ray of it or the DVD of it. It might have been the DVD or I can't remember which, but and then like talking about it at some point. I mean, it is an
True Lies
amazing.
still needs a 4K.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Next year, that's the 30th anniversary of the movie. If we don't get a fucking 4K next year, I don't know what I'm gonna have to go crazy on them. Like I'm gonna have to write
You
them a
have to
letter
go
or
see
something.
James Cameron. Blame
Yeah.
James Cameron.
I'm gonna find his phone
Stop
number.
making
Call
these
him.
Avatar films. Stop making Avatar 3 or 4.
Exactly.
Damn it. Well, True Lies is canceled because terrorism isn't funny, which I'm like, because that's remember James Cameron apologized for the movie. Well, I know terrorism. I'm like,
Oh my God.
it wasn't. It didn't say terrorism was funny. It was like James Bond. That was the point. You idiot.
Wait, did he apologize
Cameron?
for True Lies?
Yeah, because it was the PC age after 9/11. After 9/11, terrorism. Oh, terrorism isn't funny. It wasn't meant to, that wasn't what was funny about it. What's funny is you fired and shoots a missile with the guy on it.
He's riding the fucking missile. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Jimmy Cammy, you idiot. Just, God. That guy lost his balls in a divorce. I think Linda Hamilton has it in her purse.
by
Don't
the
wear
way,
around her
Linda,
necklace.
I
like
love
Dolph
Linda
Lundgren wears
Hamilton.
ears.
Don't get me wrong. I love Linda Hamilton, but she looks like a saddlebag now. Like she literally looks like somebody's saddlebag. Let's just be honest.
Sounds like she's been chain smoking for the past 20 years.
It does, yeah.
She
So I'm
stole
going-
cigarettes, man. Cigarettes. That's why he was pissed when he met you. Linda Hamilton stole my cigarettes.
That should be like something like Lynn Hamilton stole my cigarettes. So for some reason, I've yet to figure this out why this happens. We have more people in here now than we did like at any other point in the show. So for everybody watching this, if you want to know, at the bottom here, Rambo Raft for Life is a YouTube channel. Check that shit out. Stuntman Marq over here, he won't put shit out, so I don't know how to promote you, Marq. Like you're like the fucking James Cameron, speaking of like YouTube videos.
What'd you say it was last time?
The Chinese democracy of YouTube. Yeah. He's fucking just checking everything.
To some people, that was worth the wait. All right. I'm just going to say that. Let's put that out there.
But anyway, yeah, like this, thumbs it up, do a bunch of other shit. I don't know how that goes. But anyway, a lot of people are hating on The Walking Dead, which they probably should. Thoughts on the Sweeney Todd film? Neopunk 76 asks. I liked it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't like musicals as a rule. I just don't. Like, I'm not a huge fan of them. But that's a fairly decent movie, and it's got a fairly decent soundtrack. But I'm gonna tell you just straight up front, Johnny Depp can't sing for shit. Like, he just can't. Like he tries in that movie, but he cannot carry a tune.
Yeah, it's been a while. I liked it when I first saw it. I haven't seen it in so long. I don't know how I feel about it now, but I remember liking it.
What
Matt
is
hates
your
it.
No, I don't hate it. I don't remember much about it.
Gotcha.
Neither do I really. What is your favorite Fulci kill? I don't even know how into Fulci you are, Matt. I don't think we ever really talked about that.
I liked Zombie. I liked City of the Living Dead. I'd probably go with the eyeball, the splinter in the eye, and the zombie. I would go with that one because of how slow and usually it's always so quick, but just how slow it is makes it much more intense.
Hmm.
What do you think, Mark?
It'll be between the power drill scene. Well, I guess I don't know if it's a power drill, industrial drill, whatever the hell it is. Goes through the guy's head. And then probably the scene in New York Ripper with the broken bottle to the nether regions of the lady.
The netherworld.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole movie is fucking difficult to watch now.
Which one?
New York Ripper.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna go with the little girl getting shot in the face in the Beyond. That just shit comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and it's one of the more hardcore scenes that I've seen in any kind of film, really. Okay, Jackson Jack wants us to rank these movies from best to worst. Are you ready for this fucking list? Cutthroat Island, Girlfriend from Hell, Ninja 3: The Domination, and The Littlest Whorehouse in Texas. What?
I've seen two of those, and Ninja 3 is the better one. Cutthroat Island, not so much.
Yeah, Ninja 3 is going to be number one.
Yeah. By the way, like, how much money did Cutthroat Island lose? Do y'all have any idea? It was like in the hundreds of millions.
It was
I know
a lot. That's what I always remembered.
Definitely.
So we got another super chat from Bobby who says, tonight's forecast is raining zombies, lightning, thundering witches, and a ghost tornado is on its way. Hell yeah.
Ghost Tornado, that sounds like the next Sci-Fi Channel movie. It does.
It does. Yep.
The hell would that look like? A ghost tornado? I'm just picturing them actually doing it. Jesus.
What are the...
Maybe then when that Twister sequel comes out, it'll be the Ghost Tornado.
Ghost Tornado, yeah.
But that Twister sequel comes out. Twisters.
What
Twister
an
2 on the
awful
run.
idea.
Yeah. Wait, what was it? Mannequin 2 on the move. It'd be Twister 2 on the move.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know the answer to this question, honestly, but I'll pose it. What are the films that Matt enjoys but Uncle Bill hates?
Okay.
I don't.
I'm
Not sure.
a fan of Leviathan. You guys aren't. Not really a cup of tea.
That much. What do you know, Mark? Which one do you know?
You guys said on the Screen Factory show, you're like, this movie sucks. Fuck this movie. Why is it not Blu-ray?
It's not the best.
It's one you guys talked about recently. I think when we did the Van Damme show, we got off into talking about John Woo, and then I mentioned how I like Face Off, but you guys hate Face Off.
Oh,
and then I like Broken Arrow. He's not a fan of Broken Arrow.
Exactly.
So there you go.
It's broken.
It's a John Travolta.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true.
I did some Tom Cruise movies. It's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, if you like any Tom Cruise movies at all, like I'm gonna fucking hate him. So yeah.
except a few. There's a few you like.
You know, I actually don't mind Eyes Wide Shut. I don't mind that one.
I love it.
I don't mind Color Money, whatever. I don't mind
Collateral.
Collateral. I don't mind that one.
Okay.
After that, it gets kind of sketchy because even the shit that people like go crazy for, like Risky Business and stuff like that, I don't fucking care. And like Top Gun, I
Born
don't
on the
fucking
4th of
care.
July.
Born on the 4th of July is okay to me. Like it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't kick it out of freaking crackers, but
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, wait, what was that phrase? I
Oh.
wouldn't what?
I wouldn't kick it out of bed for eating crackers. That's normally a phrase that you use talking about a woman, but
Okay.
Tom Cruise.
I
Film
haven't heard that phrase before.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta remember to steal it.
What was the first format you guys watched Dawn of the Dead on? I think is what he's asking.
VHS for me. It was at a store that was only regional called On Q in Minnesota. Because when I was in Iowa, the next decent place to go, you had to go across the board into Minnesota. And that's where I saw like the VHS tape for The Thing and others, and they had Dawn of the Dead. It was interesting because there was nothing on the back cover. It was just words.
Yeah.
So there's no pictures or anything. And the front was like, I knew of Siskel and Ebert. So when Roger Ebert gave such a glowing review, I'm like, what's this? And then I took it home and loved it. Embarrassing enough, I remember when it was when I was really young, because when Ken Fry was going to shoot himself, or you think, I'm like, as a kid, yelling at TV, just being pissed, thinking that was going to happen, because I heard a Die Living Dead, now that ended. So I just assumed, I'm like getting mad. And then when he didn't, and he had like that cowboy, I'm like, jump on the bed. Yeah. It was embarrassing, but I did do that. And I loved it ever since. I love the film. It's one of my favorites of all time. So, long story short, VHS.
Same. I mean,
Same here.
yeah. And I remember, I don't even know if but see, back in the day for you young people, you could record things like multiple movies onto a VHS tape, but the more you recorded onto it, the shittier the quality got. So like, I would have like movies with 3 or 4 different films, or VHS tapes with 3 or 4 different films, like recorded onto them. They weren't like the greatest qualities. I think like that might have been the first way that I saw Dawn of the Dead. I didn't think it was like a regular VHS tape or anything like that. Just something that had been recorded onto a VHS. But I do remember like several different movies like being on the same VHS tape, like Basket Case, Zombie. Like, I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to these. Like, if Dad recorded them because they were like zombie films and maybe like just threw in Basket. I don't know. But anyway, that's how I first watched them.
Being such a big fan of the movie, did you ever see it on Laserdisc?
No.
Dawn
No,
of the
I
Dead?
never have.
No.
I've never had a Laserdisc player, nor have I ever desired to get one. Although Wes had one forever. I'm surprised he didn't.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. I think he eventually sold the damn thing, and maybe most of his he had one. Wes, what were those things called? Like, wasn't it HD DVD or HD something that came out around the same time as like Blu-ray that was competing with Blu-ray?
Yeah,
HD
DVD.
DVD, yeah.
He had
like
a ton of
Doom, and
those.
he had like
Yeah. The player and everything. Like, he just was into like all kinds of different media, I guess, like that. Let's see. Are we still collecting posters? I'm not. Like, I haven't collected posters in years and years and years.
No, not like I used to.
You can't really do it anymore. Not get anything for any kind of decent amount anyway.
It's more so like I kind of got all the best stuff, or the stuff I think is the best. Everything I want for the most part. Occasionally, like there's a newer poster that comes out I might consider it, but I wouldn't consider that collecting though.
Now, this is a different question. Jackson Jack wants to know, says, Uncle Bill and CK talk about music a lot, but what are some of the things that you, meaning Mark and Rambo, listen to?
Mm,
Go ahead, Mark.
I do a lot of movie soundtracks, a lot of movie scores. I'm a big sucker for like composers. When I'm not listening to that stuff, I mean, it's just like it's metal or whatever I have interest in, like at that time. Nothing really specific. Like I don't listen to like specific people all the time. It's just whatever I'm into at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of it was movie soundtracks, but I love AC/DC. I love Metallica. I like Alice in Chains, etc. But a lot of it was movie soundtracks, whether it be Rocky Four, Over the Top. Yeah, a lot of those Maximum Overdrive, the Who Made Who album, a lot of those soundtracks back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to a lot of those. So that would be my take on it.
I'm trying to think because they ask if I've been listening to anything lately. Not really, man. Like, here's the thing. Like, I probably haven't really put an effort to listen to new music in since about 2000. Like, that's about the time that I jumped off the music like express and just stopped like trying to listen to new music. So I have no idea what's going on anymore, and I feel like I'm not really missing a whole lot from what I can gather. What was the original name of the show going to be? Justin asked. Actually, CK just put that up, and it was
It's
going
so
to
funny.
be. It's one of the worst concepts ever, and I'm so glad that we didn't do it. It was called Splatterville, and he has like I think it's probably on the Facebook page, or the of the Discord that we got. We got a Discord, by the way. If you haven't
Mhm.
signed up for that, and it's just like a city. It's like a backdrop of a city. And it says Splatterville over top of it, and it's just like blood splattered on. It's like one of the most generic things that you could ever imagine. If we'd have gone with that, we probably would not be sitting here like right now.
I'm gonna put it up behind me.
Do it. If you can do it.
I can. 1 second.
Okay.
I'm gonna get it right now.
It's one of the worst ideas ever. I don't know how it even got proposed.
So did you two together just talk about it and say it's a bad idea, or did a third party say they don't like the sound of it, or?
I'm assuming common sense just kicked in at some point. I don't remember this at all. Like, I don't remember this concept at all. And so, like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, God, like, I'm glad we didn't do that. It's fucking brutal to see. But, you know, I remember having the conversation about, like, the name Dead Pit and just, like, being concerned that people would get it confused with the movie. Which, so far, that really didn't happen.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that was it.
And like you won't be able to see it, but it's like a city, like right
Yeah.
below the name Splatterville.
Oh,
It
okay.
just keep up, Mark. They'll think that's your shit. That's his podcast, y'all.
Somebody's got to represent.
Yeah. Oh man, that is just hard to look at. Okay. TJ wants to know what's our favorite current song group or singer. I don't fucking have one to be. Well, actually, I do. Wheeler Walker Jr. That's my favorite. Go look up Money and Bitches. That's his latest track.
I don't know. Corey Feldman. Anything he did.
The Angels. Do you like the Angels too?
Yeah,
He
but
had-
for a whole other reason.
Yeah.
Today, I'll go with Dance with the Dead. They do some really cool covers. for those out there, check out a cover they did for I think they done covers on John Carpenter and other stuff. It's very cool. Like they did one on Master of Puppets, Metallica, which I thought was fantastic. Dance with the Dead, Master of Puppets.
So there you go. Neil Puck wants to know: are there any other actors Uncle Bill can't stand besides his boy Tom Cruise and Travolta? Yes, and I've mentioned this before. Jake Gyllenhaal and his fucking ET-headed sister Maggie Gyllenhaal. Hate them both. We both know that she's got a head like ET. I can't stand either one of them.
Okay, wait. Like,
Yeah.
Jake, I don't get because he's actually solid in a lot of stuff. Maggie, okay.
Maggie, you get, yeah.
Jake, come on.
Like, I watched something, I can't remember what it was, with one of his really early roles. And it wasn't Donnie Darko or anything like that. It was something.
Mhm.
Oh, it was fucking Day After Tomorrow. And he's actually in that movie. And I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't even remember him being in this movie. I still hated him in that. And I liked the movie. I just hate him. Just hate his stupid face and like it's just his whole attitude. It's like Tom Cruise. I don't know why. I just hate certain people's like just whole aura. And those all come to mind.
No, I get it. That's like me with Mark Wahlberg and John Cena. I get it.
I didn't know you hated John Cena, but that's killing. I can totally see why.
I hate John Cena. I hate him as a wrestler. I hate him as an actor. I hate him as an action star. I despise him. He did do none of those things to me. I think he sucks on all fronts.
Oh man. Okay, let's see. Favorite Chuck Norris movie? Go. This is from K Dog.
Firewalker.
I'll go with Invasion USA.
That's a good one.
Awesome movie.
Missing in Action or Silent Rage.
Yep. Definitely could go with either one of those. Jackson wants to know, does Mark or Rambo collect any figures? I know fucking Mark has to. As much shit he's got figures in the house.
Not really. Not like I used to. I kind of slowed down on that stuff. Every now and again, a prop will catch my eye. Honestly, in the last 3 to 5 years, I've gotten more big, huge sets with like busts and stuff. Like that's kind of been like my thing lately. But I got a few rare ones though that I think people would really dig and are kind of hard to find. But yeah, not anymore.
For me, only
do love this figure.
I don't collect them, but someone sent this to me, which is Danny Glover from Predator 2, and which is very cool because this is like a unique one. Like this, I don't know how he did this. I don't know if he custom made this or something because this is not out there to buy. Like I don't know how he got this, but somehow he did because he knew I was such a big fan of that movie, and he even has his gun.
That cracks me up that exists. That's so killer.
And then, like for my birthday, someone sent me this, which I thought looked really cool from the first movie.
Oh,
I thought that looked really neat.
Yeah.
But no, I don't really go out of my way to collect them. It just, I just no other reasons that I just don't feel a need to. But nothing wrong with people who do.
Okay. Blair wants to know, how did we meet Steve and Jay Real? I'm assuming when he says, how did you guys meet? Does he mean like me and CK?
Probably.
I would think so.
Okay. Oh God, Steve was just listening to the show. I mean, that was the first kind of interaction that we had was with Steve, and he was one of the earliest listeners of the show. And I can remember like really early on meeting him at conventions and things like that, just through the show and through like trying to get fans together to come to conventions, things like that. Jay Reel sent in a short film, not a short film, it was actual feature film that was called Dawn, which is still one of the best independent feature films that I've ever seen. From like no budget, kind of like style and all that. Like it's still one of the best ones that I've seen. So that's how we kind of got, and then we just like started talking about it. He heard about the talk. He started coming on the show and doing the phone calls. And we would have the call in portion of the show.
And Jay still makes movies.
Yeah. He's making one right now, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Is it the remake to Devil and Miss Jones, or?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what it is. I'm reading through some of these. TJ. I know this is a fucking rib, but this is a hilarious question. How did you decide who would say Dead Pit and who says .com? Oh, shit. That just kind of happened that way. There's no real decision behind that. Let's see. Dark Force is sending a cease and desist as you speak. I don't think that guy's ceasing and desisting much of anything. Let's see. I've got to go all the way down to the bottom now to fucking get caught up. Okay. I'm caught up now. Nope, there's still more. Okay. What's Uncle Bill and Mark's favorite Ninja Turtle? I'm going with fucking Leonardo.
That was always mine as a kid. I'm not gonna lie. It really was.
Let's see. This would be an interesting question. I don't know if y'all want to answer it or not, but it's here. What do we all do for a living?
I'm Mark's meth dealer. That's how he pours all his
Yeah, that's right. And I pimp all the women that Matt brings my way. That's what I do. Hookers
It's a
and meth.
mutual beneficial thing.
Hookers and meth, yeah, all day long.
In fact, we just found our new name, Splatterville. That's our new company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Splatter ain't blood, folks. It's the white's there for a reason. For that background.
Let's see. So
Yeah, we'll be in the reboot of Harold Kumar, me and Mark. we're going to McDonald's. Grandma and Mark go to McDonald's.
it's very nice of Jackson to ask me how the Dick Demon is doing, though. The Dick Demon is not doing any better. It's not like suddenly become erect. It's still flaccid and very much on its way down. And I haven't heard anything about any kind of replacement Dick Demon, so I don't suspect that'll ever happen.
In seriousness, do you think you would ever just throw that away, or you just keep it just because? If it's...
I'm gonna keep it because it's fucking hilarious, like just to just to show it. Because it's so like, it's like the fact that exists and that they won't like replace it is hilarious to me.
Mine is still good though. Like, I don't know.
Well, I got to Dick Demon. All right, Mark. it's got ED over here.
Yours is unique. That's a limited edition. Nobody else has that one. So look at it that
It's
way.
because of the women that bring over the Mark. Demon gets happy.
Stays erect. Okay. Jesus Christ. Hottest girls, the Friday the 13th series or the Elm Street series?
Friday.
Hottest Friday 13th.
Yeah.
Debbie Sue.
Yeah, that's like
She had the best rack. Nobody can top that. Just saying.
Nope. Maybe it is the Kentucky humidity, Jackson Jack, that wilted the dick demon to its current form. uh, oh my God. Has anybody seen, have either one of y'all seen Tuesday Night Now? Speaking of that.
Yeah.
No. We'll look it up.
Don't do it, Mark. Or don't do it, Matt. If you, it will destroy your childhood, any kind of like fantasies that you had.
Oh.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
have too
never
much
mind.
plastic surgery, like you look like a lizard. I mean, I think that's what we should gain from that.
That's kind of like if you looked up what Bridget Fonda, how she
Holy
looks nowadays.
shit, dude. Like I couldn't believe that was real. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought someone was like lying about it. I'm like, oh, it really is her. Okay. Oh, well.
It does look like Jackson Jack. It looks like she injected balloons into her head. Yeah.
It's not Tuesday night, it's Friday Fright.
Okay. So, what are you? This is a good question, too. What are some of your favorite YouTubers? Other than yourself,
To
of
be
course.
perfectly, I only watch my friends. That's Marq, you, my other friends, Michael Keane, who's the choice voice, Mike OCP. I have a friend named Fabio. I just really watch my friends, and that's really it. Because that's like the time I have. I don't. People would be subscribed to like 100 YouTube channels. I don't get it because I don't know how you ever going to watch all of them. But that's just me. I just my friends.
Sort of the same. There's a few exceptions. I like Linus Tech Tips because I'm always working on my PC and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
I figured you'd make a comment. So website joblo.com has a channel now, and the two guys that were on the writing staff, one of them's an actor, one of them's like they're one of their reviewers. They have the Arrow in the Head show. I watch that show all the time. And one of the main guys on the show is actually from Illinois, like myself. And I'll be meeting up with him in a couple weeks at a con. So that'll be fun. Shout out to those guys. They're awesome.
Oh, God. Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, like, the only people that I'm sub to are like other horror YouTuber or YouTuber people that I know. But I'm sitting here like trying to piece if I'm sub to anything else. Like,
Okay, you don't have to name names, but are there horror YouTubers other than Cool Duder? They're like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you don't have to
There's
name
quite a
them.
few of them. There's quite a few of them where I
Okay.
like. I'm kind of just like, what? Like, for different reasons. Like,
Okay.
yeah. And there's quite a
I was
few.
just
I think there's more blue tubers than there are like horror YouTubers that I just look at that and I'm like, what in the fuck are y'all doing?
Yeah.
So
I won't name names, but yeah, I try to just stay away from their stuff. If it pops up like because of the algorithm, like in a feed, I just hit the not interested thing, and then hopefully it doesn't ever come back. But there's some people I'm just like, even with like, I don't even know them specifically, but just like their thumbnail, the clickbait aspect, I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need that in my rotation at all.
I try to watch some of these guys. Like I've really tried to make an effort to watch some of the blue tubers. Like, and it's like somebody fucking reading a manual to a VCR to you or something. I mean, that's the level of entertainment that it is. Like, there's nothing going on there. There's no personality. It's just like, I got this. It's got like all these features on it, and yada, 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 yada. It's just like literally reading shit to you.
Sometimes they don't even do that.
Yeah, sometimes
They'll
they
just
got
show
so
the
much
movie.
shit. They're just like, I got this, and I got this, and this, and this, and this.
They don't have anything to say about it. They just show it and on to the next one.
Who copied Debbie the most? Goddamn, I could tell you some stories, man, but this is probably not the time nor the place.
Yeah, that's on the Patreon on the shoot.
That's right.
I'll say I think Chris Stuntman sucks. I always never understood the appeal. I thought it was boring as shit. And Grace Randolph is like a psychopath. She's a absolute moron. Grace
I'm
Randolph.
not sure who
I
that
don't know
is.
what the hell. Good. You should know who she is. This is you know that movie Sound of Freedom?
Yeah.
She
I've
said
heard of it, yeah.
the reason that's a hit is because of people who are into conspiracies. Because apparently none of that exists. What that movie's about.
Okay.
And she's someone that she's a weirdo, psycho. Grace Randolph, God.
Oh. Which one on Patreon? I don't know what that means. Which one?
Oh,
on Patreon?
he's talking
Their
about
Patreon.
like yeah, they're of course the Dead Pit patron page, but not a specific like episode or anything. I think that would be like to be announced or
Oh,
to
the
be
shoot?
determined type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's some episodes of that up, but I guess yeah, CK. Where's CK on that? Like, is he? You guys are doing more of those like pretty soon, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the holdup is on those. I just know that like he wants them to be like really well done before they come out. So like he wants the bigger ones to be really well done. So like
Right.
there's at least two I can think of off the top of my head that we really got to put a lot of effort in, and he's got to get like a lot of look back at a lot of the emails, research a lot of the stuff, like see like what all went on, you know, through
Mhm.
those time periods before we do those. Let's see. Yeah. So we're almost 2 hours and 30 minutes in, and I am coming to a rapid end on my sanity in terms of like needing to sleep at some point here. But I do want to thank like 100 and some people that have been in here almost the entire time. That's amazing. That's great. And like check out like all of our stuff. If you want to go onto the Patreon, we got one of the best Patreons I think that there is, and it's very cheap. And go on there if you want. We're also on Instagram, Into the Dead Pit. We're also on all kinds of other shit like Twitter and Twitch and Twatter and Switch. Also, of course, check out Rambo Rap for Life's YouTube page where he's constantly doing reviews. And fucking check out Marq too, even though you'll be waiting for fucking like, yeah. He keeps you in suspense. I bet that was
Yeah.
what he's going to do next. He's building tension for these.
That's right.
Well, let's be honest. I'm more of the quantity. I'll upload like 20 a
right.
day. His is more quality. It'll be one, but it'll be a banger. So, do you want
Oh,
quantity
thanks. I mean,
or
I'll
do you
take
want
it.
quality?
Yep.
Quality right there. Yeah. In Splatterville.
He's gonna put out shit looks like that new like Titanic 2 or something. The visual quality will blow your skirt up.
Don't do that. That movie exists. There's a real Titanic too.
Is
It's
there
a
really?
silent movie. You don't want that.
But yeah, so
Avatar 3.
I think upcoming for us, the things that I know about like right off the top of my head would be the Masters of Horror series, like is coming up, reviewing like those seasons of that. And then we got a Vestron series coming up with Slippy where we're going to be like talking about Vestron Year 2, all the titles that got released on, which is not that many, by the way, come to find out. They had a long hiatus after Year 2 as well, and then came back. But we'll be discussing all that with Felsher. He probably knows a lot more about that, about what happened, than we do. So it'll be interesting to hear that side of it as well. But that's the ones I know of off the top of my head. Matt, what do you got coming up?
As of right now, some of the videos coming up right now, I am uploading a playthrough of Batman Arkham Knight because that was a very generous donation for you to play it. And of course, as I'm going through the game, I'm losing my sanity. Just the game gets worse and worse as it goes along. It's a good beginning. It's always nice when you have a game and you play for 30 hours, but then the game holds the ending hostage until you play like 3 more hours. You know the game's over because you got to do like 10 side missions. So thank you for that game. But also I have reviews including documentary on Aaron Ralston, the guy that got his arm stuck in the cave that the movie 127 Hours in Space on. So someone had requested Desperate Days and John Canyon, a documentary, which is on YouTube. Very interesting news program from back in the day. Someone named Eric wanted me to review his short film called Instant Life. And more will be coming, including episodes of Marvel shows, which would be great. As in not really, because I hate Marvel now. I wish they would be banned from the entertainment industry. I'm tired of superhero movies. I really am. Please never do another superhero movie ever again. And more to come.
And Mark? Come on.
The only thing that's for sure, Uncle Bill, you know the rest.
Yeah, I know the rest. Coming from the
Nothing's
rafters.
for sure.
Yep. All right. So that being said, though, thanks to both of you guys for coming on, like in short notice, of course, as usual. And thanks to everybody that's been in the chat, making this like a fun time. A lot of good discussion. I appreciate that. But we're going to have to head up on out of here until the next time when we do like a no news or we do one of these or God knows, because I'm getting ready to figure out here in a second what the hell Mark's talking about that we could possibly be doing in the future. So we'll maybe more on that to come. But check us out at Dead Pit on Patreon, deadpit.com. I'm Uncle Bill for Rambo and for Mark. Peace out, y'all.
Give us the thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
don't.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit radio shirts. You can get Last South on the left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. DeadPitOnPatreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.